They never expected it, not the bankers, not the analysts, not even the government systems. Because this morning on 7th September, something happened that defied every known explanation. A mysterious transfer worth trillions appeared in the system. No origin, no trace, no authorization. And yet one name appeared clearly on the receiving end. Your name. The staff froze. Reports started circulating. Machines blinked with alerts. And the sender's name glowed on the screen like divine fire. Michael. But this isn't a story about money. This is a revelation about destiny. What's happening right now is not a banking error or a human glitch. It's a spiritual event that mirrors what heaven is releasing for you. Because Archangel Michael has written something far more valuable than currency in your name. A decree of restoration, protection, and sudden reward. You see, for months, maybe even years, you felt the tension building inside your life. Delays, disappointments, prayers that felt unanswered. You started wondering if heaven had gone silent. But what you didn't see was that your blessings were never denied. They were being held like a check waiting for divine clearance. And today that spiritual transaction has finally gone through. Across dimensions unseen to human eyes, Archangel Michael stood before the celestial court, presenting your case, your efforts, your tears, your obedience, your quiet strength. Every act was counted as spiritual currency. And when the scales balanced in your favor, heaven authorized the release. That's why even in the physical world, you're seeing signs, synchronicities, and unusual patterns. Some of you are dreaming of gold, light, wings, or even hearing the name Michael repeatedly. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Archangel Michael is sending you a signal that your account, your spiritual account, has just been credited. Not with earthly wealth alone, but with divine authority, opportunities, healing, and breakthroughs that will shift your entire life. But here's the truth that only few understand. Heaven's blessings require recognition before manifestation. That means if you ignore the signs, if you dismiss the call, it can be delayed again. That's why you were drawn to this message today. Because the divine system is waiting for your acknowledgement, your opening of what's already been sent. The bank's alert on earth is only a mirror of the heavens' alert in your spirit. And Archangel Michael's message is clear. It is time. You may have lost much this year. People walked away. Plans fell apart. But in that emptiness, heaven was rewriting your story. And today, it reaches a turning point. You are about to receive something that doesn't make logical sense. A miracle that's measurable in results, not in reason. For some, this will come as sudden financial release. For others, it will appear as divine favor, unexpected opportunities, or emotional healing that frees your heart from years of pain. But for all, it carries the same message. Heaven has not forgotten your name. When Archangel Michael signs something, it's final. No force on earth, no human power, no spiritual resistance can revoke it. He stands as heaven's chief enforcer of justice and truth. So if your spirit has been restless lately, it's because Michael's energy is near, pushing away the darkness that's tried to delay your blessings. The question is, will you claim what's already yours? You were led to this message for a reason. Nothing in the divine algorithm is accidental. There's a scroll with your name on it, glowing in the light of heaven, marked released. And all it needs now is your awareness, your faith to open it. Some of you are already feeling chills right now. Some feel a warm pressure in your chest or a tingling in your palms. That's your spirit reacting to recognition. Your soul knows this message is real. Because when heaven speaks, the body listens. When Archangel Michael moves, reality responds. He is aligning timelines, unlocking doors, and shifting circumstances that have been locked against you. Even right now, something in your life is adjusting. Silently, perfectly, powerfully. An approval email, a call, a chance meeting. These are not random. They're the visible proof of what was just deposited in the invisible. Michael's energy is fiery, direct, and protective. When he appears, he clears obstacles in sudden waves. That's why things that felt impossible a week ago can suddenly happen overnight. Your faith is the access key. Your awareness is the activation. The moment you say within yourself, I receive this, you authorize heaven to release the full manifestation. Because divine energy responds to conscious permission, that's why Michael says, please, beloved, open this now. Because if you don't, they'll claim it. This isn't about people stealing from you. It's about negative energies, distractions, and doubts trying to absorb the blessing before you accept it. But today, that ends. Today, you reclaim what was stolen, delayed, or hidden from you. And as you do, something within you will shift. Your frequency will rise. Your reality will start aligning faster than you can imagine. Unexpected money, divine connections, emotional peace, all flowing in like a wave that never stops. Because once the spiritual account opens, it keeps pouring until your soul is completely restored. So pause for a moment and breathe deeply. You are witnessing a miracle in motion. You are standing inside a divine event written long before you were born. Archangel Michael has signed your name in the book of release. And every moment from now will prove that heaven's timing is perfect. Your part is to stay open. Stay aware. And let this confirmation awaken your gratitude and faith. Because gratitude keeps the channel clear. In the next moments as this message continues, you'll begin to sense peace where there was pressure, hope where there was confusion, and divine movement where there was stagnation. Archangel Michael is not only delivering blessings, he's delivering justice. Those who tried to block you, mock you, or take what was yours will soon watch it return to you multiplied. That's how divine law works. The check has been deposited. The account is active, and the name on it is yours. Even as these words reach you, something in the unseen realm continues to move. The transmission from heaven hasn't stopped. It's still expanding, still unfolding, still pouring into your life, like a divine current that refuses to be contained. The deposit made in your name is more than symbolic. It's a divine code now rewriting your story from the inside out. Every moment that passes is another signature from Archangel Michael confirming that your alignment with destiny has been reactivated. There is a sacred reason why your spirit feels restless lately. You've sensed that change is near, even if your logical mind doesn't understand it. You've noticed signs repeating, verse like 777, sudden thoughts that feel too specific to be random, songs or messages appearing exactly when you need them. All of this is the language of heaven. It's how Archangel Michael communicates when your human senses are too overwhelmed to catch the full message. He's telling you that the gates are open, but they must be entered with faith. Because what's being transferred to you isn't paper wealth. It's spiritual authority. It's a decree that says you will no longer be the borrower, but the one who overflows. It's an energetic confirmation that the struggle season is ending, and a harvest season is beginning. In the spiritual dimension, every soul has a divine ledger. Soul has a divine ledger. Every prayer, every act of kindness, every time you chose light when darkness called your name, it all gets recorded. And when the record fills to its appointed measure, heaven releases what's due. That's what just happened for you. This wasn't random luck. This was divine timing finally catching up with your faith. You might wonder, but why now? Because you've reached spiritual maturity. You've endured storms without cursing heaven. You've stayed faithful when no reward was visible. You kept believing, even when silence was your only answer. That posture of faith is what opened your divine account. Archangel Michael waited until your heart was steady enough to hold what heaven is about to release. And now, the movement begins in your favor. Doors that once rejected you are suddenly being reopened. People who forgot you will start to remember your name. Opportunities that were closed will return with double favor attached. Even systems that once failed you, whether financial, emotional, or relational, will begin to cooperate supernaturally. Because this isn't just about receiving blessings, it's about being repositioned by heaven. You are being moved into the environment where your purpose can breathe again. The vibration of your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Archangel Michael is orchestrating alignments, and those alignments will bring results that defy logic. Some of you will notice it through unexpected messages, divine meetings, or doors that open without effort. Without effort. Others will feel it inwardly. Sudden waves of peace replacing anxiety, strength rising in moments you thought you couldn't stand. That's the evidence that your spiritual account has gone active. You are not waiting for miracles anymore. The miracles are waiting for your recognition. And this is where Michael's message becomes urgent. Because what heaven releases must be acknowledged by the soul that receives it. If you doubt it, delay it, ignore it, it stays suspended in potential form. But if you respond, if you agree inwardly and say, yes, I accept what is mine, that act of belief acts as a divine password, unlocking everything that's been pending. That's why you were guided here. You didn't stumble onto this message by accident. You were drawn by a higher frequency that matches your destiny. His sword doesn't only fight darkness. It cuts through limitations, doubt, and fear. Wherever you've been held back, he's now stepping in to clear the path. That heaviness that has been following you lately, the emotional fog, the confusion, the financial pressure, it's about to break. Because the transaction from heaven wasn't just for blessing, it was also for liberation. For too long, negative forces have tried to block what was already yours. You fought battles that weren't even visible to others. You've carried weights that would have crushed anyone else. But heaven has seen every tear, every lonely night, every moment you stayed kind, even when life wasn't kind to you. That's why this release had to happen now. Divine timing always arrives right when the enemy thinks he has won. Some of you may literally feel energy shifting in your surroundings. A light breeze, a warmth on your hands, or a pressure in your chest. That's your energy field being recalibrated to receive. Archangel Michael's presence carries frequency changes, and when he's near, the air itself feels different. You may not see him, but you'll know he's there. He whispers to your soul, "Do not fear what's coming next." The next chapter of your life will not repeat the pain of the past. You are entering divine restoration, not repetition. Your faith has activated spiritual law, and spiritual law cannot be reversed once set in motion. You may feel like nothing is changing on the surface, but beneath it, reality is being rewritten. Every no that you received before was a redirection. Because what's being delivered to you now is so aligned with your purpose that it couldn't arrive earlier, it needed this exact version of you to receive it. There's a reason you were led to this message today, out of millions of others. It's not entertainment, it's divine appointment. It's divine appointment. You are one of those souls whose timing has arrived. The banks of heaven have not only recognized your name, they've authorized your release. Archangel Michael personally oversees cases of delayed destiny, and yours was one of them. That is why the entire realm is in shock. Just like the physical bank was confused when it saw your name attached to a transfer worth trillions, so too are lower energies confused right now. They don't understand how suddenly the atmosphere around you changed. But heaven does. Because heaven wrote this shift, Archangel Michael is standing beside you with a radiant light, saying, "Your account is clear. Your name is free. Your inheritance is active." He's reminding you that divine justice is not delayed. And as you continue listening, a subtle transformation begins within your mind. Thoughts of lack begin to dissolve. Feelings of unworthiness start fading away. Because your energy can't hold poverty when heaven has declared you abundant. you begin to see life differently. You start expecting miracles instead of waiting for problems. That shift alone changes everything. Even the algorithms of life respond to faith. When you believe, frequencies rearrange. When you speak gratitude, because the moment you align with belief, your manifestation begins accelerating. Some of you are wondering right now if this message is really meant for you, but let me tell you this. If your heart is racing, if your body is reacting, if your spirit feels this pull, it's confirmation. The divine doesn't waste messages. You were drawn here because your vibration finally matched your destiny's frequency. From this moment on, watch carefully. Watch for unusual movements, sudden news, delayed responses that finally arrive, and faces from your past resurfacing for reconciliation. These are all signs that the divine deposit is unfolding in layers. The blessings will not come all at once because your system couldn't contain it. They'll come wave after wave, season after season, each one greater than the last. And as this happens, Archangel Michael wants you to stay grounded in humility and gratitude. Because gratitude multiplies miracles. Pride closes the account, but humility expands it. So no matter what manifests, thank heaven for it. Speak it aloud. Acknowledge it daily. Because every act of gratitude becomes another withdrawal from your divine balance. This is the secret the ancient prophets knew, that heaven's wealth is spiritual first, then physical. When you align your heart, your outer world follows naturally. That's why Archangel Michael calls you to maintain your faith even when things still look ordinary. Because the shift always happens internally before the world catches up. And soon, the world will catch up. Those who doubted you will wonder how everything suddenly began working in your favor. People will think it's luck, but you will know it's divine orchestration. Heaven is setting the stage for your testimony. Remember, every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer was building your strength. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. And today marks the day that preparation becomes purpose. The currency of your pain has been converted into blessings. The interest of your patience is being paid back in joy. Archangel Michael stands with his sword raised high, declaring, "It is done." The record is sealed, the release is authorized, and the energy around you has shifted permanently. Nothing will remain the same. The next weeks will carry divine momentum. You'll start attracting what belongs to you without chasing it. You'll begin seeing what once seemed impossible unfold naturally. And as you recognize each sign, speak it out loud. Claim it. Because speaking is an act of ownership in the spiritual realm. Every time you acknowledge what's arriving, you strengthen your alignment with it. This is how miracles multiply. You are no longer waiting for permission. This, heaven has already approved your name. The transaction has cleared. The sender was Michael, and the message is simple. Your time has come. Even now, as this message flows into your ears, something powerful is stirring in the unseen. You can almost feel the shift, subtle yet undeniable. It's as if the air itself is charged with light, as though heaven has paused for a moment to make sure you truly hear this. Because Archangel Michael isn't just delivering a message today, he's delivering evidence. The evidence that you were never forgotten, that your prayers were never ignored, that your waiting was never wasted. Each second of patience became a brick in the foundation of your divine inheritance. And now, that foundation is glowing with activation. Your name echoes through dimensions. Angels whisper it with reverence because it belongs to one who endured, one who didn't give up when everything fell apart. There are people who doubted you. There are systems that underestimated you. There were moments when you thought, maybe I'm not chosen after all. But look at you now. Still standing. Still believing. Still here to receive the message written in heaven's own ink. This is your divine confirmation. The check has cleared. The vaults of heaven have released what belongs to you. And though your physical eyes may not yet see it, your spirit already does. That's why you've been feeling an odd mix of peace and anticipation lately. Like your heart knows something wonderful is coming but can't explain why. That's your soul reacting to divine truth. Archangel Michael has already placed your name before the throne of divine justice. Every wrong, every betrayal, every delay, all recorded, all recalculated, all redeemed. Nothing that was lost will stay lost. Nothing that was stolen will stay stolen. Nothing that was broken will stay broken. Because divine justice doesn't just restore, it multiplies. When heaven pays back, it adds glory to what was taken. So don't be surprised if the blessings arriving in your life are greater than what you asked for. Heaven never pays in equal measure. It pays in overflow. That's why Michael says the transfer was worth trillions. Not because it's about money, but because it's about magnitude. Because what's being given to you now can't be measured in human value. You are receiving peace that money can't buy, favor that effort can't earn, protection that fear can't shake, and purpose that time can't erase. But here's something Michael wants you to understand deeply. Every divine release attracts resistance. The brighter your light becomes, the more shadows try to move near. Not to stop you, but to test your awareness. Because when you recognize who you are, darkness loses its access. That's why in the coming days you might notice unusual emotions surfacing. Old doubts, old fears, maybe even sudden tiredness or overthinking. Don't be alarmed. It's not an attack. It's a clearing. It's your system adjusting to a higher vibration. When heaven upgrades your frequency, everything that doesn't belong must rise to the surface and release. So instead of resisting, breathe. Allow it to pass through. Say quietly, I release what no longer serves me. Each time you do, Archangel Michael's light surrounds you stronger. Each time you let go, the divine flow moves faster. You are stepping into a higher dimension of trust now. One where miracles don't surprise you anymore, because they become your new normal. Michael's energy is not gentle today. It's fierce, like fire. He's burning away everything that kept you small, scared, or silent. He's reminding you that the same soul that survived heartbreak can now handle miracles. The same hands that held pain can now hold power. The same heart that felt empty can now overflow. So if you've been waiting for a sign to believe again, this is it. Heaven is saying, a move forward now. Don't look back. The doors that closed behind you were never meant to open again. Because what's ahead is built for the version of you that has already learned wisdom through pain. You don't need to chase what's yours anymore. You simply need to align with it. And alignment begins with one powerful decision, to trust that heaven's timing is never late. Every delay was divine precision. Every disappointment was redirection. Every loss was clearing space for what's coming next. That's why Archangel Michael keeps whispering the same words to chosen souls right now. Do not panic over what ended. It had to end so you could begin. Your timeline is shifting in divine order. And you'll soon notice how things start moving quickly. Not because you're forcing them, but because you finally stop resisting them. The moment you rest in faith, heaven starts working faster than your fear ever could. And this is where miracles multiply. Because peace is the magnet of blessings, the calmer you stay, the faster divine energy moves. You've already entered that frequency by listening to this message. Because this isn't just a story, it's a transmission. Every word carries light codes meant for your soul. That's why you feel lighter the longer you listen. That's why tears form without sadness, because your soul recognizes truth when it hears it. This is your awakening moment. Your awareness is opening like a flower to sunlight. You're remembering who you truly are. Not just a human being surviving the world, but a divine soul living out a written destiny. And right now, Archangel Michael stands beside you, his wings wide, his sword glowing with divine flame, saying, enough has been taken. Enough has been delayed. Enough has been lost. It's time for divine return. These words echo through every layer of your existence. They move through your energy field, through your home, through your thoughts. They realign what's been off balance. They restore what's been disconnected. You'll notice people treating you differently. You'll notice strange coincidences working in your favor. Because divine order is rewriting your surroundings to match your new frequency. Michael's hand is upon your path. He's removing names, situations and distractions that can't travel with you anymore. Don't mourn what leaves now. Celebrate it. Because everything leaving is making room for something greater that's on its way. The check that was deposited wasn't just symbolic. It was a declaration that your era of lack has expired. That's why this month will carry unusual blessings. You might receive unexpected calls, new job opportunities, financial openings, emotional healing, or reconciliations that seemed impossible. But the key is this: stay aware. Don't move in fear. Move in gratitude. Gratitude keeps your divine account active. Every thank you you whisper is another transaction of faith, and faith always attracts more. So if you feel a sudden urge to write, to pray, to speak blessings, do it. That's your soul processing the energy Michael has delivered to you. Heaven doesn't want you to beg anymore. Heaven wants you to believe. The moment you stop asking if and start saying thank you because it's done, the unseen becomes visible. And when that happens, the bank of heaven doesn't just release blessings, it celebrates you. Archangel Michael turns to the other angels and says, "This one believed before seeing." And those are the souls heaven trusts with greater power. Because belief before sight is the highest form of faith. And faith is the true key to divine inheritance. So as you hear these words, let your heart soften. Let your mind quiet. Because this isn't the end of your story. It's the start of your divine era. Everything you've lost will find its way back to you, refined, multiplied, and restored. Everything that broke you will soon serve you. Every dark night that almost crushed you will become a testimony of light. And when that happens, remember this day, 7th September, the day heaven sent a message through the voice of Michael, declaring that your season of release has arrived. This message was timed perfectly. Because heaven's clock never runs slow. It only strikes when you are ready. And beloved soul, you are ready now. The air around you has started to feel different lately, as there's a quiet stirring in your atmosphere, a strange, beautiful tension between what you feel and what you can't quite explain. This isn't your imagination. It's the shift that happens when heaven begins moving things in your favor. You are being aligned with something immense, something that has been waiting behind divine timing. Archangel Michael is standing closer than ever now. He's watching every thought, every emotion, every moment where you almost gave up. He knows how long you've waited for change and how deeply you've prayed in silence when no one else could hear you. That is why this moment feels charged, because you are standing right at the doorway of manifestation. The heavenly system has already processed your request. But now, your faith becomes the signature that finalizes the release. Michael says, "Beloved, your account in heaven has been credited. But before it reaches you, your spirit must be open enough to receive." That's why you've been sensing sudden emotions, vivid dreams, random chills through your body. They are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Each time your spirit feels that quiet surge of energy, it's like a notification from the divine bank, reminding you that what's coming is already yours. But Archangel Michael also warns, there are eyes watching what's meant for you. Some on the unseen want to delay it. Some on earth will try to doubt it. But no power can claim what heaven has sealed with your name. So when fear whispers in your ear, remember this. Blessings delayed are never blessings denied. Sometimes heaven pauses your deposit not to punish you, but to protect you from those who would misuse it. The angels are busy rerouting your miracle through a safer channel. That's why patience feels so heavy. It's not rejection, it's redirection. Archangel Michael is guarding your divine transaction like a heavenly security officer. He's ensuring no spiritual thief can intercept your abundance. Every doubt you conquer, every fear you silence becomes a key unlocking another gate toward your release. You might not see the full picture yet, but behind the scenes, things are aligning faster than you realize. The divine signature has already been placed. The transfer is in process. Now heaven is simply waiting for you to say the words. I am ready to receive. Because those words are not just a statement, they are spiritual authorization. They tell the universe that you trust divine timing more than your current circumstances. And when that trust ignites, energy begins to move. Opportunities appear where there were none. Lost things start finding their way back to you. People who once ignored you suddenly remember your name. This is how divine wealth flows. Not always in money first, but in alignment, in timing, in divine orchestration. Michael's message is clear. What's written for you can never be stolen. but it can be delayed if you stop believing. So don't let disbelief close the gate that heaven is opening right now. Keep your spirit alert, because signs will start multiplying around you in numbers, dreams, and sudden coincidences that all whisper the same truth. The release has begun, and somewhere, deep within the spiritual treasury, a light bearing your name is glowing brighter by the hour. Archangel Michael has already signed your divine check. All that remains is for you to open your heart and claim it. The night before your blessing reaches you always feels the heaviest. It's that strange mix of exhaustion and hope, where your spirit knows something is near, but your mind keeps doubting if it will ever come. That is exactly where Archangel Michael finds you right now. Between what was and what is about to be. He knows how many nights you've looked at the ceiling, wondering when your breakthrough will finally appear. He knows how long you've been holding on, pretending to be strong when your heart quietly trembles in the background. But beloved, heaven saw every tear. None of it was ignored. Each one became a seed in the soil of divine timing, and now those seeds are starting to rise. Archangel Michael is whispering, "This is the hour of release. The delay has expired." You may not feel ready, but heaven says you are prepared enough. Everything that once broke you was never random. It was training for this exact moment. The angels have been reprogramming your energy, cleansing the frequencies of fear, doubt, and lack, because they cannot exist in the same vibration where miracles manifest. That's why lately you've been feeling restless or emotional for no reason. For no reason. It's the old energy leaving you, making space for the new. There's a great spiritual law that Michael wants you to remember. The universe never sends abundance to a heart still attached to scarcity. So if people walked away, if opportunities closed, if the money seemed to stop flowing, that wasn't loss. It was purification. Heaven was emptying your hands so they could hold something greater. And now, the Bank of Heaven has cleared the final signature. A divine release code is active in your favor. That's why even now your soul can feel a sudden surge of hope, because somewhere in the invisible realm, your blessing has just been dispatched. Archangel Michael says, when you hear this message, do not doubt its timing. It is being delivered to the exact soul whose name is written on the decree. That means you. This isn't a coincidence. Your spirit was guided to this moment because heaven needed you to hear the confirmation. Every synchronicity lately, the repeated numbers, the sudden dreams of light, the random chills through your spine, they are all divine alerts signaling that your spiritual transaction is clearing. It's heaven's way of saying, check your faith balance. Your account is ready. And yet Michael warns of one thing. Be careful where you invest your energy now. Because just before release, distractions multiply. Old emotions may resurface. Doubt may whisper again. Even people from your past might return to test your peace. But this time you must recognize it for what it is, a final spiritual test. The enemy tries to lower your frequency so your manifestation slows down. Don't allow it. Stay centered in gratitude, even when nothing makes sense. Speak blessings aloud instead of fear. Each word of faith you speak now acts like a signature authorizing the deposit to manifest faster. Heaven works through energy, not effort. And your belief is the highest form of spiritual currency. Michael says your miracle isn't coming to find you. It's already here waiting for you to match its vibration. So lift your thoughts higher. Speak as though it's done. Act as though it's already released. Because the moment you do, the universe will rush to confirm your energy with physical proof. Doors will open that were sealed for years. Messages will arrive out of nowhere. Money, favor, peace, all will begin flowing toward you effortlessly. Beloved, you are standing in the golden light of fulfillment. The same archangel who once guarded heaven's gates is now guarding your destiny. He's ensuring that no human error, no negative energy, and no past limitation can touch what's about to be yours. Your name is written in heaven's ledger. Your account is marked cleared for release, and the next sign you see, no matter how small, will be heaven's way of saying the transaction is complete.